should save that until the end, maybe you won't want to apply. For those of you who don't know me, I know so many of you. I grew up here in Marion. I was in the graduating class of 1958. That dates me, doesn't it? I ended up, when I was married, we moved to North Rose, which was my husband's hometown. I thought I'd move to the ends of the earth when I moved over there, but it's been a wonderful place for me. At one point, I was building a new house to move into, and Dad, my father, was the carpenter, and he was building it, and he decided to come at that point and live with me. My mother had Alzheimer's and was no longer living at home. So he came, and when we had dinner together evenings, he invariably told stories, and he was a great storyteller. The Hances were fantastic storytellers. They got right into their stories with their arms, and they jump around, and they were enthusiastic, and he was the same way. He was a Hance. And I got awfully tired of hearing those stories because they were the same stories over and over. And then one day I thought, Lucinda, you ought to be writing these down. And that was the blessing, because then I could ask him questions about what he had told me. And his days of working in the Vinegar works were particularly good that I could ask him, because it was hard for me to understand the process, and he could explain that, and how many, or how big was it, or how did that work. And so that's a blessing, and we can benefit from that today on the apple process. The Vinegar Works was also called the cider mill by locals. So if you hear somebody talking about a cider mill, they're talking about the Vinegar Works, because the pressed juice from apples was called cider in those days. Dad worked there after he had graduated from high school, and these were Depression days, so he was very happy to have work. It was hard work, and the job that he did, he had I'll tell you about, he was called a stripper. But it was in the process of pressing the vinegar, and I'll tell you about that. But this story also will include some about his brother Howard, who was 2 years younger than he, and Howard worked there for about 4 years after he graduated, and Albert Short, who was a good friend of Dad's, and those three were good teammates. They had gone through school together, they had played basketball, and they were strong, energetic young men. As you know, or maybe you don't know, the mill, the cider mill, the Vinegar Works, was down on Mill Street. And if this is where we are right now, no, I take that back. We're here.